This week, we're coming to you from Louisiana. How you doing? I'm Carlos Diaz, and today, we're going to take you to a small town in the Deep South that has thrived where others have been challenged. This is the story of a coach, his football team, and a community, part white and part black. This is the story of their success together. The year was 1954, and it was the verdict that nearly divided our nation. The United States Supreme Court had spoken. No longer should America's classrooms be divided by the color of one's skin. It was a landmark decision, and for some communities, it was a reality they were not quite prepared for. In Little Rock, Arkansas, the Brown versus Board of Education decision was met with stiff resistance.
I got on the bus and came to school expecting to come to a new school and have new school experiences, but I didn't expect to be the target of a mob. I didn't expect to be alone out there.
Fear gripped communities across the South. Haynesville, Louisiana was no different.
After Little Rock, there was a lot of fear. After Central High thing of Little Rock, there was a lot of fear about if and when we would be integrated, that there would be a lot of hell raising on both sides, and the kids would go to school fighting and raising hell. But I'm saying the kids had integrated mentally before they integrated physically.
This small town is in the northwest part of the state, just 2 miles from Arkansas. In light of the Little Rock experience, Louisiana did not mandate Brown versus Board of Education be upheld until 1969. Yet when this town did integrate, Haynesville was soon recognized as the exception.
Mainly it was because of the parents, both white and black parents that had kids going to the high school, knew each other and they wanted to work together. We didn't feel like it was no need for some of the violence that was being done in other places, because we felt like if any problem come up between my kids and the other kids, we could always sit down across the table and work it out.
Children are in black and white have to go to work together. They have to go to school together. They must share a common life. And I think this community has done an excellent job in that regard. Being in other places as a coach, teacher, it's not always like that.
You can't, there's no way you can move that other until you get this one on the ground. Let's go. Move it in a hurry. Sit. Hey! Now, that'll work.
2 years prior, Alton Red Franklin had come to Haynesville to coach football. He would be on the front lines of this issue. His Tornado football team would be under a microscope.
Well, at that time, it was the community wanted the best for their children. It didn't matter whether they're black or white, it didn't matter. They wanted the best for their children. And whenever the courts and everything put them together, the parents of the black youngsters and the white youngsters, they were bound and determined they were going to work together and make it work. And so they saw that with football, this could be a real good thing, you know, to help it work.
In the summer of 1970, Coach Franklin was conducting summer practice. It was the first time whites and blacks had played football together in this town.
Just before integration, I said to the fellows, I said, well, look, don't take the back seat to anyone, no matter what it is. And if the coach wants to win, he's going to play his best players.
They saw that we weren't going to put them back on the back shelf, that they were going to be a part of it. And the parents jumped in, and they did their share, and most of them are still doing their share.
And so the first ever integrated Haynesville team took the field. Nobody knew what to expect. For Jimmy Metters, he not only got a starting position as defensive back, he took part in history.
First year of integration, when everything here in Haynesville was speculated to be a mixed turmoil, but despite what everybody thought was going to be a bad thing, it started off as a good tradition, and Haynesville won their first state championship game in 1970 right here on this field.
That created a bond that just seems to have never been broken. And even today, our race relations in this town are better than, I'd say, most towns in America today.
The Tornadoes went undefeated in 27 straight games and won 2 consecutive state titles in 1970 and 71. Coach Franklin had started a dynasty. It also brought a community that was supposed to be divided together.
I think it gives you the best opportunity to be together, and you really realize the support that the coaches, the education system, the teams, the parents, all the community pulls behind this effort.
And the success of football has not been lost on this town of 2,800. Oil is the #1 industry in Haynesville. Yet football is the one commodity that without fail has helped this community maintain an identity.
It's everybody, you know, from young 1-year-old people to 100-year-old, you know. They all come see us, you know, because most of them have played in the past, and they know what the tradition's about, and they want us to keep it going.
In 1970, this small southern town was in the minority to a country still mired in racial difference. Even today, some of its neighbors have still resisted change.
Well, I think we are the exception more than the rule in a southern town. But again, I have to go back with relationships. I think all of the people here in this community knew that change had to come about, and they were willing to work together and to meet in the medium ground. I think football played a large part of that.